Federation of Bahrain Trade Union and International Domestic Worker Federation to promote migrant domestic worker rights and welfare in Bahrain. There are around 111,000 domestic workers in Bahrain for a population of 1,450,000. One-fourth of migrant domestic workers are from India, followed by Philippines, Ethiopia, and the domestic worker from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Kenya, who consist 23.6% of the remaining migrant domestic worker population. In 2017, reforms were introduced in Bahrain following the approval of the Labor Market Regulatory Authority in Bahrain of a dual-tribute unified standard contract for domestic workers that must be signed between the recruitment agency, worker, and employer, and the second one between the worker and employer. The unified contract is a step forward that will ensure the protection of migrant domestic workers in Bahrain. However, it needs further reform to outline worker hours, minimum wage, and rest time, in addition to an enforcement mechanism due to the inspector lack of authority to enter private home. The GFBTU and IDWF, therefore, have entered into the agreement to help migrant domestic workers in Bahrain by empowering them through education, organizing, and advocacy, and to help them in their urgent problem, which for many instances can be remedied by a legal assistance. To further hasten this cooperation, the parties of the MOU have agreed to uphold the UN United Nations Delegation of Human Rights and the ILO Convention, especially the Convention 189, related to the protection of worker rights of domestic workers. In particular, the parties agreed to work together to achieve the following goals and objectives. Impactful policy change that will allow migrant domestic workers to more readily access through full labor and trade union rights and reach decent work for the migrant domestic worker. Migrant domestic workers are supported to organize with a clear strategy, including alliance building whenever necessary, with a candid and friendly civil society organization. GFBTU and IDWF have established a coordination mechanism for regular exchange of information on Bahraini labor policy and law, labor market, law and regulation on recruitment or employment agency, government letter, agreement, and are able to undertake action research on enforcement and implementation of migrant domestic worker law and contract. Improve the public appreciation of the contribution made by the migrant domestic worker in the society by mobilizing and or cooperating with the partner organization and align local and international to conduct various activities, including the regular observing of International Domestic Worker Day on 16 June and International Migrant Worker Day on 18 December. To realize this common goal, an individual party to MOU commit to the following. The GFBTU shall help in improving assistance to migrant domestic workers by delivering legal assistance when possible and or refer workers to service providers. Raise awareness on migrant domestic worker rights with employers and the Bahraini society as well, which would support the GFBTU efforts in reaching migrant domestic workers and possible organize them with the support of local organizations, associations, trade unions such as the GTUS. Continue the awareness raising efforts to MD, migrant domestic workers on their rights in Bahrain. Participate in periodical review of the MOU. The IDWF shall gather input of migrant domestic workers by means of survey on the enforcement and implementation of domestic worker law and contracts. Provide education to migrant domestic workers through training activity and reading material to inform them of their fundamental rights as defined by international conventions, especially the Convention 189, as well providing them with the basic acknowledgement on the legal process in Bahrain. Strength capacity of the domestic worker leaders of IDWF, affiliate, and trade union partners to advocate for policy change on the country of origin, such as the Self-Employed Women Association in India, Central Trade Union Center in the Philippines, General Federation of Nepal Trade Union in Nepal, Kenya Union of Domestic Hotel, Education International, Hospital and Allied Workers in Kenya, and Malay TISFA, Domestic Worker Association in Ethiopia. Share information with its affiliate and trade union in above-mentioned countries of origin on law, regulation in Bahrain, and contact of GFBTU for potential migrant domestic worker traveler in Bahrain. Participate in periodical review of the MOU. Many possible change MOU can be intention and communicated by any of the party and mutual agreed upon by both party concerned. In case one party wishes to terminate the MOU, such intention must be communicated in writing and discussed by both parties concerned. The termination of concerned obligation will take effect within 6 months upon mutual agreement of the both parties concerned. This MOU is valid for 2019-2020 and can be extended based on the evaluation of the implementation of joint objectives. Signed in 15 June 2019 at ILO Geneva, Switzerland.